Okay, I go out for my morning walk. Kind of cold. Look at turtleneck. Got to wear a jacket. And this is like desert area. This is the hottest place in Canada. So why is it so cold this summer? And then we look at camtrails. And was there camtrails this morning? Yes, beautiful clear blue sky, which is normal for this area, but a ton of camtrails going by. And I go and get the groceries, and the manager of the grocery store, who I've always had issue with because of how he does his business, some products are half full, while the same product in the same bottle, same containers, half empty, and yet it specifically says it's supposed to have a certain amount on it. It's like, well, if it's supposed to have, whatever it is, if it's 4 ounces, how come some bottles have 2 ounces and some have 5 ounces? It's like your weight scales are off, and it's not just one product. And it took months to get that guy to do anything about it, and I'm pretty sure he didn't really do too much about it. I don't try and keep tabs of him because every time I do, I get disappointed. So he runs up to me in the grocery store and says, "Where's our summer?" And it's like, well, it's called camtrails. It's called designed weather. Yeah, and he's looking at me like I'm an idiot, which he always does. Yet he's always wrong. Um, let's face it, if you're selling the product that says it's supposed to have so much in it, and half the bottles are empty, half the bottles are full, and you can't recognize that, and if somebody tells you that, you still can't take it off your freaking shelf, something's wrong with you, bud. Um, Especially if I go and buy two different peppers. One's yellow, I think, and one was red. And they were both the same price. One was bigger than the other, but the smaller one was more expensive when I went through the tills. Something's wrong with your tills there, bud. But they look at me as though I would be the crazy one. Now, doing a little research in this area because it's mostly farm country, you would think that there would be an organization of farmers doing something about these camtrails since it's blocking out the sun and their fruit ain't going to be growing as good. You think that we should support our local farmers. That would be normal thinking. But it's been my experience the ones you trust the most are the ones that disappoint you the most. And you got to kind of look at the farmers in this area. They're losing their minds. Actually, they didn't have a mind in the first place. They got a lot of money, very, very rich. Rich brings out the insanity in you. And they've gotten rich off of the hardships of others because who picks their fruit? Who actually does the labor, the work that makes these rich farmers get rich? Are usually kids that are dealing with a hell of a lot of abuse, mostly from Quebec. They're kids that have been beaten and tortured by their own parents. They're basically homeless. They look like they're hippies because they're kids that are looking for a way to feed themselves. They usually, hitchhike or find a ride for the picking season. A lot of them try and save their money and then head south to Mexico where it's a little warmer because they're basically homeless and they're looking, they just cannot function within this current system because they know the system is wrong. So, um, who would take advantage of the hardship of others? A rich person. And who are rich in this area? The farmers. We've got a nice big cancer hospital out there. Most of these farmers use a lot of pesticides, so they're basically killing themselves. And I don't see anything about camtrails in there. You would think that that would be important to them. But no, if a farmer actually profits more from doing no work, what do you think a lazy, asshole, rich, wealthy person's going to do? They'll take the easy road all the time, all the time. So what I did is I went and looked up, are there any subsidies? Sure enough, every farmer that doesn't reach their quota gets a payment. AgriCorp. I'll put the link below, but it's calculating your margins. It's like um, Protects you. Ag- Agri-stability protects you when your net farming income falls below 85% of your recent average. To determine if you are in decline in your net farming income, two margins are calculated. So basically, whatever you um, produced last year, if your crops are lower, no loss to a farmer. They get their free check and they didn't have to hire anybody. They didn't have to do anything. They could just sit on their lazy freaking ass and ride this recession out. Just take the money from the government, the bailouts, and spend all of their friggin' money on boats and Lamborghinis. And, they got the. When there's a recession, don't work. Spend your money on having lots of fun. So if you wonder why farmers ain't doing shit, it's because farmers are getting a lot of free money. Farmers are not farmers anymore. It's like doctors are not doctors anymore. It's all corporate structured greed. So don't be looking at your farmers to be saving you. You need to get rid of the current farmers and get some people that actually do care about their food. And they would be the ones that would be saying something about camtrails. And I don't really see too much in this area. See a lot of people posting videos on camtrails, but it slowly dies out. And yet our summers are like basically non-existent anymore. How long do we have to keep our eyes shut to see what the bigger picture is? The ones you think you can trust the most are going to be the ones that are the guilty. You would think you could trust a farmer to be looking up at the skies and speaking out about their own crops, but they don't give a shit about their crops. It's like, if I can make money without growing, I will make money without growing. So when I see a camtrail there, it's like a day off. Lazy friggin' rich farmers. Gotta love them. They have zero love in their hearts, which is gonna kill them in the end. Because those camtrails is like poisoning yourself. Just like the pesticides. It's pesticides on your own friggin' property. Then you end up getting your own friggin' diseases and want to blame the outside world when it's your own friggin' farming. Because you don't give a shit about your life. Peace out.